My name's Mike Fish, and I grew up in Oregon, graduated from high school in Eugene, Oregon. Took a job driving a laundry truck, and tried college, went to one semester, and that didn't work. So I went to work in a plywood mill over in Payette, Idaho, and with my buddy, high school buddy, and his dad was the superintendent of the plywood mill. So we went over there and went to work and got fired a week later from his dad. So, we really screwed up. So I went back home. My older brother, I have three brothers and a sister. My older brother was already in college, and I needed to do something. So one of my buddies and I went down, joined the Air Force. Didn't know what I was going to do in the Air Force, of course, like everybody when they first sign up. At that time, I don't know if you can choose your career now before you can sign up. I think you can.
Right.
But so I went to Lackland Air Force Base. When we were just about done, they take you in and say, well, you're good for doing this kind of work or this kind of work. And so the guy, when I sat down with him, he said, well, you'd make a very good air conditioning and heating tech. I go, I don't even know what an air conditioner is. I grew up in Oregon. How can you say that? And he says, well, that's what your scores say. And so I was looking around in there, and there was a guy in the room, the door open, and he had his dress blues on, and he had a whole chest full of medals. And I asked him, I said, well, what does that guy over there do? Maybe I could do that. And he says, oh, you don't want to do that. He said, that's too hard. He says, he's recruiting pararescue guys. I said, well, let me go talk to him. So I went in there and talked to D. Nelson. And he said, well, can you swim? I said, I've been swimming all my life because I grew up in Oregon and Lake Oswego. And I don't know if you know Olympic swimmers. Don Scholander was an Olympic swimmer and used to swim with him and his brother and my older brother in the lake all the time. So that's what I said. I said, I've been swimming my whole life. Mm-hmm. And he said, okay, well, I'll put your name down here. And then I went to casual barracks for a week until there was like 20 of us. And they took us all to the pool, and we had to swim. I don't even remember how long it was, and you had to swim a length underwater or something. And so I think 12 of us passed the swimming test, and had to go back to casuals for another 2 weeks till they got enough guys. And then 18 of us went from Lackland to Orlando, Florida. Mm-hmm. And that's where we stayed and went to schools from Orlando back and forth.
And so from when you finally graduated and got your beret, that was all the schools. Where did you end up going?
Our class was 67-2, mm-hmm. And I went directly to Hamilton Air Force Base, which is no longer there in California. Mm-hmm. They closed it down.
And so what PJs were on that team? Did you have like a mentor out there?
I didn't know anybody that it was there at the time when I first went there. But I was there from 67 to 68, mm-hmm. Through 68. And then D. Nelson was there. Dennis Kraft was there. yeah, I can't remember who all was there, but there was, I don't know, maybe 12 PJs.
Mhm.
At this time, Vietnam wasn't a thing. Was there any other conflict going on that you guys were gainfully employed?
No, just Vietnam. Vietnam was going on
Mhm.
then. Yeah. And so I don't even remember any missions I ever had there in that time frame.
Mhm.
And then I went from there to Vietnam in January of '69 is when I hit the ground in Vietnam.
And where in Vietnam were you?
Tuy Hoa.
Tuy Hoa.
It's on the coast.
Yep. And so you went from there, and then we were speaking before this, but then you headed to Thailand after that.
I was in Vietnam for probably 8 months,
Mhm.
9 months, then went to Thailand because they had lost some PJs during that time frame,
Mhm.
and they were, low on PJs. So two of us went to, Rick Evans and myself went to Udorn,
Mhm.
and then from Udorn we went to NKP and I think we spent 2 months there, and then went back to, then when the other PJs came back over from the States,
Mhm.
we went back to Tuy Hoa.
Okay. You're just doing backfilling at NKP.
EDY, yeah.
Yeah. And were you with Chuck McGrath there?
No,
No. Okay. Just we were interviewing him and we just wanted to piece together maybe if there
Yeah.
was anything overlap.
there was, I don't, that's been 50 some years.
Mhm.
I don't really remember who was there.
Oh, it's understandable. I remember what I ate for breakfast.
Sometimes, right.
And we'll come back to kind of your experience
Sure.
while you were there. But after you left Tuy Hoa and you went back stateside, where did you end up?
Back at Hamilton,
Back at Hamilton.
right back at Hamilton, yeah. Yep.
With probably a promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Were you running a team at that point?
No, I was not.
Okay.
I think I was a staff sergeant.
Mhm.
So I went from two-striper to staff sergeant.
Gotcha.
And I think Dennis Kraft and someone else was running the team at Hamilton at that time.
Mhm. Okay. And how long did you stay at Hamilton for the second time?
Second time I stayed there till 72.
Okay.
So I came back in 70, about mid 70, stayed till 72, and then went to Alaska.
Okay. And then did you finish your career in Alaska?
I finished my career in Alaska. I got out of the Air Force in 1976.
Okay.
So 10 years.
Wanted to start with getting into Vietnam and kind of the expectation as you were coming in there, and then what your ops tempo was like in some notable missions you had in Vietnam before you went up to Udorn and NKP.
Right.
Is there anything?
So I hit the ground in Vietnam in January 10th, I think. Did orientation flight and in the H-43 with check ride, okay, you're good to go type of thing. And the first mission I had was the Army helicopter that got shot down with 4 Army guys. They went in to pick up the LRP team
Mhm.
and they got shot down. That was the first real mission I had over there.
Really?
Yep.
Can you describe?
And I mean, that was like 8 days after I got in country.
Wow. Yeah.
8 days.
Wow. That's crazy. Can you describe the mission, like kind of how it all unfolded?
On alert, and got a call that the Army helicopter had crashed, and the Army guys that they only had like at the location, they only had like, I think 1 or 2 Hueys that were equipped with hoists.
Mhm.
So they called us and because there was injuries, and I just remember I was on alert, got called, flew out there. Gunships were in the area. A couple other aircraft. And what happened was the Army LRP team was on patrol, ran into considerable amount of NVA, like maybe ran into their camp. I don't know.
Okay.
But they were supposed to be just recon and call in stuff, but they got found out.
Mhm.
And so they had to run. They were on the run and got to this valley that was real steep on both sides and kind of got caught in the middle. And they called for extraction. And that's when their Army helicopter came in to get them, and they got shot down.
Mhm.
And so we went out there. It was afternoon. We went out there to get everybody. Rick Evans and I were the PJs. We had 2 PJs in the bird, and I got on the hoist, went down, and I mean, it was my first mission, real combat mission, my real mission where there was blood and guts everywhere.
Mhm.
I mean,
You said
what-
you were like mentally prepared for that, or
I don't think so,
no?
but job's a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got on the ground. One of the guys from the helicopter was killed in the crash. And the other, there was four guys in the helicopter. One was killed in the crash. The other 3, one was trapped in the helicopter. The other 2, one of them had 2 broken legs and a broken arm, and they were cut up really bad from all the metal. So funny story, not funny, but now it's funny, where I went down with my medical kit and my AR-15 and a 38 on my side. I guess that was to shoot me if I got caught or something. Anyway, they were in a firefight with the NVA, and I mean, I'm a rookie, don't know nothing. I go down there with my AR-15 and my med kit. I get on the ground. I take off my med kit and my AR-15. I set my AR-15 against a tree, turn around and got this guy ready to get in the helicopter. And as soon as he went up, I turned around to get my AR-15. It was gone.
Someone took it.
One of the Army guys took it and was using it. Yeah. So I got a hold of the patrol lead. I mean, we were in I guess our perimeter was maybe half of this room.
So I was going to ask you. So the recon patrol surrounded the wreck. Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so Huey on the ground, you're there to get the people out. And
Yep.
they're surrounding you.
Yes.
Well, I'm guessing maybe a 12-man team was that recon.
Oh, 5-man team.
5. That's it.
Yep.
And they were in an active fire.
Yeah. Active firefight.
Was the helicopter getting shot at while you were getting hoisted down?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah. So
Everything was getting shot.
Yeah. What was going through your mind as you're going down the hoist? Did you go back to that moment at basic training? You're like, holy shit, what was that thing?
Yeah.
That could be fucking
Really?
T units right now.
Well, I thought when I heard that, I thought maybe they were just shooting at the helicopter
Uh-huh.
and they'd leave me alone. They didn't care about one person. They wanted the helicopter.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't even think I was worried about
Mm-hmm.
getting hit.
Yeah.
It was just, your mind just going other places.
There's so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just thinking about the next step you need to take.
Yeah.
All right.
I had to concentrate on what was
Yeah.
going on. And so I get this guy in the stoke litter, get him going up, and then I reach for my AR-15, it's gone. So I got a hold of this team leader. I just yelled at him. He was just not far away. I said, hey, I need my rifle back. And so he went and got it. I think the guy ran out of ammunition or something. And so he just grabbed it as he was going. And so I got it back, and I didn't put it back over there. I put it right here beside me so I'd have it. Not that I was going to shoot anybody, because, you know, I was actively trying to take care of the patients.
Yeah.
And I took the first guy up, and then the next guy had 2 broken legs and a broken arm, because I kind of triaged. There was 3 guys I had to take up. First guy was really bad. I can't remember why I took him up first, but this guy had 2 broken legs and a broken arm, and he was in cuts from the metal from the Huey. And I mean, gaping cuts, not just little, you know, his arms were, anyway,
Were you guys throwing them on a Stokes?
putting him on Stokes. Yep. Yep. So I'm trying to put this guy on the Stokes. I wasn't even going to try to bandage him or put splints on him or anything. I was just getting him out of there.
Right.
And he goes, "Oh man," he says, "I need some morphine. I need some morphine." And I said, "Well, there's a guy up in the helicopter. As soon as you get there, he'll give you some." I had some already with me, but
Was there any
I was-
on bird, or you had the med kit with all the?
I had the med kit. Well, the other PJ had a med kit
Oh,
also.
okay, good.
So, but
Just get up there, man.
yeah, I wanted to keep it with me because I didn't know how many patients there were really at that time. And so, or what was going to happen either. I mean, you know, somebody could have got shot, which did happen. But anyway, so I said, "Yeah, the guy up there, he's got morphine for you." So I sent him up there. And then the third guy, I think he just had a broken arm and some lacerations on his face. And
Were they able to kind of self extricate, or did you have to do any extrication on the aircraft?
well, there was one guy that was trapped on the helicopter, but he was medically, he was fine, other than just couldn't. When the helicopter went down, of course, he was on the pedals, and when it went down, one of his legs went underneath one of the pedals. It's hardened steel, those pedals. And when it went down, his leg was underneath it, and it just trapped him right to the helicopter.
I didn't. I don't want to keep interrupting the story.
Okay.
But the question I had is, you're getting down there. There's obviously an effort to remove the recon patrol, but the priority became very quickly the Huey that went down and the 4 people in it.
Yep.
Did you realize, or were you told at any point, your mission is 4 people, or your mission is 9 total that are on the ground right now? To get everything.
Just 4 people.
Just the
really,
4
yeah.
helicopter crash.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Would you guys have been capable to take all 9?
Well, we only had 2 43s in the air at any one time, so probably not all of them. Well, I put 3 of them in one helicopter, the first 3 patients. So we had 3, 4, 5, 6 people in one helicopter, which is pretty overloaded for a 43.
Yeah.
And then when they left, the other helicopter came in, and I can't remember exactly. Anyway, I got 3 patients up.
Okay.
And
then I think we were talking about the pinned pilot.
a pinned pilot.
Yeah.
So this was like in the afternoon when we got the call. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how long it took, but in the jungle, in this valley, it started getting dark pretty quick. So when they radioed down, said that they're leaving and to come on up to get out of there, I still had a patient. So I said, "You guys just go, I'll stay here and take care of this guy. I'll, come back and get me in the morning." I didn't tell him to come back and get me in the morning, but I just said, "You guys go ahead and go."
Who was on the ground with you? It was just you?
Just me and the Army guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you had the recon beat stop.
Yep.
All right.
So you know, they said, you know, I can't remember what actually all they said and everything. I just said, you know, I'll stay here. That's what I said. And so they left, and the Army, the gunship stayed for a little while after that because they were just kind of making a oval, you know, up the canyon and then out and then back. And I think there was two of them. And I don't know, they killed a couple of guys that were in a creek bed somewhere. I don't know. But I didn't know that until much later, of course. And so I stayed and tried to, the guy that was pinned, it was pinned by his ankle and his leg. I think he had a broken leg. I couldn't tell at the time, but he was kind of not in too good a shape with his leg. And so he was kind of screaming and get me out of here. But, you know, the typical thing when you're trapped, I mean, Jesus, you know, how would you feel? Like people are shooting at you and you're trapped. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything, you know. So, but it was jungle. It was a jungle. It was, you know, our perimeter was half this room, but you couldn't see, you know, 100 yards. You couldn't see 50 yards even.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't really see where they were. You could, but anyway. So I gave him some morphine right before it got really dark, just to try to keep him quiet. And that seemed to work. And then I stayed, I let the patrol team do all the shooting and watching for, you know, watching us. And I stayed, excuse me, there was a big log where the helicopter had gone in, and the helicopter was kind of on its side like this. There was a big log in front of that, and the pilot was right here.
Okay. So the log stopped the progress of the helicopter rolling. And
Yeah.
he was right there at the ground log.
Yep.
Helicopter meeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that's where I stayed all night. I kind of dug a little trench underneath the log, and I stayed there and within arm's reach of the guy the pilot that was trapped. So I could tell, you know, I don't know what I was going to do other than I gave him the morphine, you know.
Yeah. And so, you know, luckily that was some cover.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah. For sure.
I was just, you know, I can remember thinking that, well, I hope somebody doesn't step over this log tonight. And because I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, I was just a kid, really, too, just a kid. I was not, you know, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
And so what did you try as far as getting his foot out? Did you have any?
They had lowered a saw to us.
Just
And
a long day, or
no, just the last part of the whole thing. They had lowered a saw with a fireman, and we tried to start the saw and it wouldn't start. You know, and then, so I said, "Well, you get out of here with the saw and everything." And so he went up, but we did try the saw, and then that didn't work. So that night we just kind of hunkered down, and we could hear, if it was real quiet, we could hear some people walking around and talking. They were, you know, I didn't hear too many. I heard some people walking around down by the creek that was right there. That we were kind of on a side hill because it was a canyon and the creek was down below us. And one of the other things that I've not really told too many people was that 30, it was probably a kingbird that was orbiting up, and he was they were throwing flares out that night. I don't know exactly why they were trying to keep the place lit, but I radioed up to them because you know, they were throwing flares out right where we were.
Mhm.
And I didn't think that was a good idea.
Just marking your spot.
Yeah, they were just marking where we were. So I radioed up, called them and said, hey, would you guys mind, you're way off. I said, could you drop those flares about 5 miles to the south? And pretty soon they took off and went over
Nice.
there.
Yeah, this reminded the people on the creek that, oh, there's Americans still here.
Yeah,
We're gonna keep
I guess. I don't know.
because no one had night vision goggles, nobody had anything. Did the firefights typically just kind of have a little bit of a stalemate at night?
Yeah, it just stopped basically. Yep.
Couldn't see anything. So you were preparing for the sun to come up. Say, all right, we're about to get hit again.
Yep.
And then
Okay.
as a 19-year-old kid, in the middle of the night in a war zone, were you able to rest at all? Were you just game planning the next day?
I
What was
was
going through your mind?
I was hoping that a big centipede wouldn't crawl up my pant legs or whatever. Or, things you think about when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
sitting there. It's like, yeah, the firefight actually just stopped when it got almost dark. And I think what they were doing is they were waiting for the helicopters to come back.
Mm.
Because
That's
when
your
when
target.
they did come back, then it started again. So I'm just there all night. I'm sure didn't sleep. I was just hoping nobody came over the log. I remember that.
Mhm.
And then the next morning, the gunships came back in, and yeah, and they, once they got in and they drew a little fire, but not as much as the day before. I'm sure they probably called in the rescue helicopters.
Mhm.
And when they called in the rescue helicopters, they sent down another fireman, and we were able to get to his leg and get his leg out of there with a saw. And once we got him out of there, I sent him up, the fireman up, and then the pilot of the helicopter with us, he put him in a Stokes
Mhm.
and sent him up. And then, so it was myself and I guess one of the LERP team members was killed that next morning in the firefight. So it was myself and 4 guys. And when they got the 2 people back up to the 43, they took off, and a Huey equipped with hoist came in.
Mhm.
And I said, guys, I'm out of here.
See ya.
Yeah, you're on your own.
Yeah.
No, I just thought, well, their team leader said, go ahead and get on the hoist and go.
Okay.
And we'll be right behind you
Right behind.
Yeah.
So they got out
on a Huey, from a Huey. Yeah.
Okay. And then that was it. You guys went back to base, and that was your second week in country.
Yep.
Wow.
How long was that tour going to be?
A year.
Yeah.
So a significant thing happened when I got on the Army hoist. Army guy got on with me, and he wasn't strapped in or anything like that. So we were going up through the jungle canopy. We got to the Huey, and I looked down. I thought, I don't know, I didn't understand why he was just kind of limp. I think he might have got shot when we went up. But as we got to the Huey, the skids, the guy that was operating the hoist, the Army guy was on the inside, and he just kept taking the hoist up, and the Army guy fell right off the hoist from about 120 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You didn't clip in at all.
No, when he ran up, I would have clipped him in,
Mhm.
but I I don't even remember if I was clipped in. I was just on the seat, you know, and
Mhm.
he just ran up and just jumped on me and kind of grabbed me.
Oh, wow.
And then the hoist just started going up.
Oh, this was on the penetrator. You getting up by the penetrator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is the recce team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, so we lost him.
We lost him too.
Was he recovered after?
Yeah.
Wow. And that was kind of the end of the mission?
That was the end of the mission, other than when they got me into their helicopter. For some reason, that helicopter just took off.
No, there's three guys.
Yeah, and there was 3 guys, and then the guy that had, fallen,
Wow.
and they went to Fu Hip was an army base right next to Tuy Hoa,
Mhm.
just south, like 100 yards, and they flew me there, and then one of the 43s came over and got me and took me back. And I don't know if you've ever, combat is weird on your brain. I mean, I just wanted to stay at the section with all the guys and talk and have a beer, and at the time didn't really realize what had happened,
Mhm.
basically. And so I just wanted to talk and have a beer with the guys and sit around and BS.
Yeah.
But the commander said, go to your hooch and just take a nap or whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't by myself, which is
Okay.
weird in itself,
Yeah.
not being able to talk to anybody when I got back, which made it worse.
For sure.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
And they debriefed me, I don't know, a couple of days later.
And just told you everything that happened in the background, and then you told them everything as well.
I didn't tell them anything,
Nothing. Yeah.
nothing.
Save people's lives, that's the key, right?
Yeah.
But I think when you're saying like to come back and like talk with people and be social, and that's therapeutic in its own right.
Mhm.
So even if you have a long day, you don't have to be stuck in a firefight for, sun up to sundown,
Right,
sun up again. But,
right.
anyone with a long day, having a beer, socializing with
Yeah.
friends, it's gonna
Help.
The last thing you want to do is isolate yourself.
Yeah.
After something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
So-
think that took a toll, like that first mission? Or were you not able to process it at the time?
I just, I don't know. I thought maybe that was going to happen all the time.
Mhm.
I mean, I had just gotten there,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's my life now.
yeah. So I didn't really know. I mean, I didn't have any other significant missions.
Okay.
I mean, we went and picked people up,
Mhm.
like a army guy got blown up by a landmine or whatever, lost a leg. We went and got him,
Mhm.
but it wasn't like we were getting shot at all the time, or
Staying overnight.
stay overnight or whatever, just out and back. So I never had any big significant missions in Vietnam. I just didn't. And
Mhm.
is this the way it was where we were stationed in Tuy Hoa?
Yeah.
I mean, we had the army base next door. When I first got there, we'd sit up on our hooch at night and watch the army base get mortared, and they're right next door to us. And that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think just in retrospect, you made an impact, and that's what's important, right? You did the job, you're there to do the job, and you absolutely did it. Did you keep in contact with the people that you had rescued?
I did not
Okay.
at that time.
At that time, no.
Right.
Did you realize what you had done was significantly,
Yeah.
It was a job.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think any PJ would have done the same.
Yeah.
Mhm. For sure.
I had to focus on what was going on when I was on the ground. I mean, that's kind of hard when people are shooting at you, but I was focused on my patients. And if I could, depart any kind of knowledge to any PJs, focus.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
Yeah.
have a beer after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your buddies.
Right, of course.
Surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned survivor's guilt. Was that based off of that mission?
That and a couple others, but yeah,
Would you be able
mainly on that one.
touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, lost two guys on that mission.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, was my fault, but kind of feel like, there's two guys right there that I lost. And so I don't feel that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then I feel it. When I'm laying in bed or going to church,
Yeah.
preacher, it makes me feel kind of
Yeah.
guilty.
Yeah.
Guilt is a sin.
Yeah.
I'm like,
What is there any advice you have for younger guys that may experience something similar to that? Just how you've coped with it, maybe?
they need to go talk to somebody, and I haven't. I really haven't gone and talked to anybody. I wrote a song.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna write a letter, but then the letter turned into a song. So I wrote a song about that mission to help me get over some of that. And I contacted Freedom Sings USA, and they do songs for vets
Mm-hmm.
every week. They actually, I'm on a Zoom call with them every Wednesday morning at 5:30. They're based out of Chattanooga, and they help vets write their stories. The vet sits there, they tell their stories about, significant stuff when they were in the military, and Freedom Sings writes a song for them. And they've written hundreds of songs for veterans. And so when I wrote the song, I just had the lyrics. I didn't have any music. So I contacted them and said, hey, I wrote this song. I don't have any music. Can you help me out? And they said, sure, no problem.
Wow, that's cool.
What would you say? Would you say that did help?
That helped.
Okay.
That-
How so? I'm probably not telling everyone like, hey, go write a song. But
Right.
would it be either writing a letter, a song, or some way to maybe commemorate the moment and like
Put it down.
thoughts?
Put it down on paper.
Yeah.
Put it down on paper. I don't know. I don't know what it does, but you have all these internal thoughts. And if you get them out, get them into a song or get them on paper, it helps.
I'd say that's also true. So there's a lot of studies on that, and not only writing, but also just talking. Like you have thoughts that
Sure.
are constantly running through your mind. If you articulate it out into words,
Mhm.
either by writing or by talking, it helps you process it a little bit more. And that goes back to socializing, having a beer with,
Right.
your buddies after something traumatic like that. You're able to kind of like decompress and maybe get it out there and
Mhm.
process it a little bit better,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep, it does.
If we could maybe go back to your career and
Mhm.
talk about kind of transitioning out of Vietnam back to the United States and at Hamilton, and then how you made your way to Alaska at your last duty station.
Mhm.
I'm assuming there was some rescues that came in Alaska. And
Well, actually, all the significant rescues came when I went back to Hamilton.
oh, yeah, Hamilton. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there was a few in Alaska, but
Okay.
nothing. It seemed like every time I was on alert, I got a jump mission at Hamilton.
Really? Okay.
And it was, it's unbelievable. I don't know exactly why that happened, but I go on alert, I'd get a jump mission. They'd go for 3 weeks. I'd come back on alert. You get a jump mission. The guys were pissed at me. They were like, damn it, I'm going to take your alert today.
I'd be like, hey, I'm on your team.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
So what was the first one like for your first jump mission?
Let's see. The first one was probably it was a Civil Air Patrol that crashed
Okay.
up on Mount Whitney in California. They were looking for another airplane, and Civil Air Patrol, they went into this big box canyon and didn't make it out, crashed on a snowfield.
Okay.
And myself and can't remember who was with me. We jumped on onto a frozen lake, and a little helicopter, sheriff's helicopter, I think, took us across the lake to this big snowfield. It was up the side of a mountain, probably, I don't know, a couple 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And pilot was dead. Co-pilot on the airplane was still alive, had 2 broken legs. So we got him out and into Stokes and pulled him across.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was even a Stokes. It was some kind of,
Letters.
yeah, some kind of litter. I know it didn't have any, it was just a wrap litter, I think. Anyway, I got him down off the snowfield and onto the lake and back across the lake. And then 53 came in and picked us up.
Okay. Is that what small Cessna went into the snowfields?
Yes.
Okay. And then did you like understand the condition of the ice on the lake? Did you think it was frozen all the way through?
It was frozen.
Okay.
Yeah, it was frozen.
Yeah.
Probably 6 feet. I mean, it's up in I think Mount Whitney is one of the tallest mountains in California.
Yep.
And so I wasn't really worried about
Okay.
the ice too much.
Was it a static line or a square?
Static.
Static line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Squares didn't come in until the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, all my jumps were static lines.
Wow. Okay.
Only one time didn't open.
You had a second
My
one for
parachute.
that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got to pull the reserve, huh?
Yep.
Jeez.
That was from 1,200 feet.
Yeah. So
Wow.
the ground's coming quick.
Boom! It opens up. Ground.
Really?
So what you were training when that happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where?
In Alaska. That was in Alaska.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How quickly afterwards you jump out of a plane again?
Well, I don't know, probably the next day.
Yeah.
But the first thing I did was we weren't packing our own chutes.
Uh-huh.
So the first thing I did was got the little log out and who packed it and went to the parachute
Yeah.
shop and talked to the guy.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I actually had a cutaway in England when I was stationed in England, and yeah, it didn't open. I looked at the log. The guy who packed my main parachute packed my reserve, so he almost killed me.
And then he saved you.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I guess I owe you a bottle.
You owe me a bottle. I owe you a bottle.
Yeah.
Funny how I worked in the same thing.
Yeah.
Team leader at the time, my ground was like, hey, get a parachute on and get back up in the air.
Yeah.
Best
yeah.
thing you can do. Jump right out of a
Yeah. I
plane.
think it was the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
I don't have a lot of jumps. I mean, compared to you guys, I got like 171 jumps is what I had.
okay. All static.
All
line,
static line. Yeah.
Got to speed though on the operational jumps.
yeah, you do.
Well-
Well, speed pretty good. What was another one?
So,
Yeah.
so there was my second jump mission was a Norwegian freighter out in the Pacific, about 500 miles out. One of the crewmen had fallen down one of the stairs, going down to another level or whatever, and hit his head real bad and was unconscious and bleeding, and they thought maybe his head was gonna swell up and they needed help. So we flew out in the 130, myself and teammate, and the ceiling was at 800 feet. But we flew out, of course, and then went down below the ceiling. So when we went out about 750 in static line. If I'd have done that and the parachute didn't open, I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
But we went out at 750 and they launched a little boat, came out and got us. We just let all the parachute and everything go, of course.
Mhm.
And we came from 500 miles out with that patient. They gave us the captain's room, stateroom
Mhm.
on the ship. And so we monitored this guy. The flight surgeon had given us something to give the guy so his brain, to keep the swelling down his brain. I can't remember what it is or what it was, but some kind of medicine to administer to this guy to keep the swelling down. And so we just stayed with him until we got a hold of it back into San Francisco. The SS Barfon is what the name of the place was, the ship.
Mhm. And there's a tradition with the guys in California that they'll take the life ring.
We did.
You guys did?
Yep,
Yeah. Wow.
we did.
And that's got to be one of the earlier missions coming out of Hamilton then for jumps, or how many missions do you think prior
I
to
really,
water were done prior to you doing that?
I don't really know.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then I had like 4 or 5 jump missions in almost less than a year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and the guys were all pissed. They were all pissed at me. So then, and the next jump mission I had was at F-105 that the pilot and co-pilot were out training off the coast and somehow went into a flat spin and they ejected. And my buddy and I went out. They weren't even hurt,
Mhm.
but we went out and did a jump mission on them and got them. We went out in the 130, which was a lot faster than the helicopters.
Mhm.
And we jumped, got them back into their life rafts or stayed with them in their life rafts. I think they were already in their life rafts. And then helicopter came out and picked them up.
Were they co-located or somewhere?
Yeah, they were somewhat, they were probably 500 yards apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you got 2 PJs jumping,
Yep.
one takes one takes
Yep.
the other,
Yep.
and you were self jump mastering. So you would
Yep.
go out on your own on one of them, and then
Yep.
you told your buddy, "Hey, I don't know who was the other TJ. Do you remember?"
I can't remember.
But
No.
he was like, "All right, I'll go to the other one."
Yeah.
Were you both?
Well,
jump
no, I
masters?
sent him out first.
Okay. You were the jump master.
Yeah.
Okay.
How close did you get into the raft?
I don't know, 100 yards maybe.
Bad.
Good enough for government work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, yeah, my thought is like you don't have a steerable parachute. You're just
Oh,
like, all right,
well.
we'll get close.
Hey, win.
Yeah.
Were you guys throwing streamers at that point to try and figure out wins?
No, I can't remember. Maybe we did a couple times. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have that many operational jumps. You just feel it.
Yeah.
You know, that's about now.
And, hey, pilot, you see the smoke down there? The guy pops smoke.
Yeah.
Just go downwind of that and head upwind and get me right over the top of them,
Perfect.
and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Nice. It's awesome.
And then
yeah.
another jump mission. So this one was really significant because I really feel that, this guy would have been gone if I hadn't been there. Was a C-7 that was coming back from Vietnam. They stop in Hawaii and fuel up, and then they're called duck butts.
Yep.
And so the Hawaii contingent would duck butt them about halfway, and then we would pick them up halfway and get them to California. Well, C-130s, not necessarily the helicopters. So, but I guess this one wasn't really a jump mission. This was helicopter.
Mhm.
Well, I jumped out of the helicopter, but he, about halfway over, he lost one of his engines. So about 25 miles off the coast, he lost all his fuel too. I mean, used up all his fuel.
Yeah.
And so they ditched. And we were there. Of course, we knew that what was going to happen. So we were out there with a helicopter. They ditched, good ditching. And, you know, I don't wish somebody would have been taking pictures because it came in and ditched in when they hit the water went like this and then just kind of popped right back out.
The C-130.
The C7.
Oh, it was the C7.
C7.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it went nose in and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
right out.
And so Lou Craig was with me
Okay.
on that mission. And so we're watching at the helicopter. And as soon as it came back up, somebody came running out the back and jumped in the water. And the pilot had his arm out the window like this. We came in, Lou Craig jumped towards the back of the helicopter. I don't know, we're 20 feet, maybe 15 feet. And he took the guy that came out the back. And I had the helicopter move forward and I jumped in front of the C7 and I took the pilot. And when I swam over to him, the water was, I don't know, probably up to here on him already.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trapped. He couldn't extricate himself. I don't know exactly why.
Mm-hmm.
So I get there and he says, help me, of course. And then, so I just started grabbing stuff and slinging it here and there. I had no idea where he was trapped or how. And at one point, I just reached in and grabbed his flight suit and just yanked him right out of the cockpit, right through the front windshield.
Mm-hmm. He had popped the windshield.
The windshield, I think, had popped when
Yeah.
they crashed
Okay.
or ditched. I just reached in and grabbed him and pulled him right out. I probably cut his legs a couple times, but I pulled him right out and set him on top of the cockpit. And as I set him on top of the cockpit, the airplane just went like this.
Wow.
Yeah,
What timing?
unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. If you don't have faith in something, you'll have it after that.
Yeah.
Which is also crazy because another COA could have been both of you guys go to the back and then one swim forward, and that would have been at that point too late.
Yeah, I would
you
have
know?
been too late.
So
Would have been.
you said he almost probably, he wouldn't have made it. He hadn't have been there.
I don't think, oh, no, he wouldn't.
No. Couldn't have self-rescued.
He was trying.
Yeah. And so that was what, 25 miles off the coast of San Diego? Were they?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah. They were headed to Hamilton.
Okay. Really? Okay.
Yeah. And he made this little trophy thing and presented it to both of us.
Okay.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Still have it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
That's
do.
cool.
Would you say that was your most notable mission? Because in my mind, like you
In the States. Yeah.
United States. Yeah. Wow. Wow. I can't believe that. And also, I'm just trying to visualize it, right? I would have expected that plane to go down a whole lot faster, but it's sitting there on the water for a little bit.
I don't know what the time was,
Yeah.
time frame.
Yeah.
Could have been 2 minutes, could have been 10 minutes. I don't really remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're not thinking about time, of course, when that
No,
happens.
yeah.
You're just thinking about trying to do something.
Yeah. Thinking about,
Focus.
thank God I'm a good swimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Focus. I mean, that's that. I went to the school
Mhm.
and did a little speech to everybody at the school there.
Mhm.
One of my main things was when you're on a mission, you got to focus on what you're doing.
Mhm.
Can't get distracted. I mean, I tried in Vietnam, I tried not to get distracted from doing this.
Mhm.
Every time a bullet came over your head, you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
you got to focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm curious, if you want to transition to you getting out of the military, because that is another big life decision. What went through your process?
Well, so that was at Hamilton. I went to Alaska,
Alaska.
and Udo Fisher was NCOIC up there.
Mm-hmm.
We had a few missions. I can't remember. I don't think I had a jump mission up there. Nothing of significance that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm there for 4 years. And at that time I was a tech sergeant. I didn't really, in my mind, didn't see any future in the military for me. Vietnam was winding down. Promotions weren't really going, real good. I had 2 little boys at that time. I really liked Alaska. I wanted them to kind of grow up in Alaska and not in Chicago or whatever. So,
Yeah.
so I decided to get out after 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're still involved with the squadron still?
I go see them every now and then, but no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
That was in 1976.
Mm-hmm.
How many years ago was that? That'd be quite a few years. I don't know anybody up there
Yeah.
that are, I know a couple of guys, some of the guys that are on the fire department
Mm-hmm.
are working out there. Because when I got out of the service, the pipeline was about to explode up there. They were hiring right and left.
Mm-hmm.
I just about went work on the pipeline, but I didn't want to be gone for 2 weeks at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Had 2 little kids and a wife.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want to be gone at, 2 weeks at a time, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So I saw a little ad in the paper for fire department,
Mm-hmm.
went down and tested. And the next day the guy called me and said, hey, we want to hire you as a medic. I go, I don't want to be a medic. I've been doing that I don't want to be a medic. I want to be a fireman. So he said, oh, okay, well, we'll call you back when we have an opening.
Yeah.
And like 4 days later, he called me back and said, come on in. So I went to work for the fire department in 1976 and worked for 25 years
Okay.
Up in Alaska.
up in Alaska in the fire department.
Yeah.
Retired in 2000.
And so you have, I'm sure there's so much similar camaraderie than it was in the Air Force. And
Mhm.
got a team house. Everybody's
Yep.
going and doing the dangerous job and enjoying it. So
Yep.
it's probably a really fun transition from one occupation to another.
Right.
Very similar, right?
And I think a personality leads people to those types of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're kind of on the edge. A personality as a pararescueman, you're on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
As a fireman, you're on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Every time every time the alarm goes off, you're
Yeah. You're there.
something, 50% of the time, nothing. There's nothing. And then 30% of the time, there's just something, but not anything significant. And then maybe 10% of the time, there's something significant.
Mm-hmm.
A gunshot victim, a car wreck, a structure fire.
Mm-hmm.
So you're always right on the edge, I think, of a disaster. Either way.
Honestly, you've seen it all. It's pretty cool to kind of be in the same room and have the time to sit down with you. It's awesome. And we like to kind of wrap up interviews by asking, we kind of did it about the focus, like staying mission oriented. But do you have any other things you'd like to impart on current and future generation of PJs, even firefighters too? Don't want to leave them out, but to make themselves better and to just be better pararescuemen for the community and just everyone at large.
Oh, well. I mean, I can truly say that, when, I'm not sure. I mean, you guys are all, probably a lot smarter than I was when I went in the Air Force. And you get better training. obviously you get better training, better equipment. So just use that to your knowledge and your physical abilities and train.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time you need to tie a knot, you better tie it right, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, and the first time you need it for a rescue, it better be right.
Yeah.
So train. That's, in the fire department, we train every day.
Mhm.
Every day we're on shift. We're either throwing ladders, tying knots, pulling hose.
Mhm.
And the first thing I do when I go to a new station, as a captain, I get the crew that, and say, okay, here we go. I want firemen to pull a line. I want the engineer to set up a folder tank. So I know that they can do it.
Mhm. Doing a validation exercise. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much for the time. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
No, thank you.
That was awesome. That was awesome. You are honestly like a legendary career. That was really cool. Really
Yeah.
cool.